So this episode of My Little White Supremacy DEI is Magic already starts out in the Jim Crow era. So Twilight the race trader is out and about hunky-dory, none the wiser to all of her friends hiding and cowering in their homes because of Kunta Kinte here. Everybody's like, oh no, she's infecting Ponyville with her ghetto-ness and her black fatigue. Do away with her, and then cue intro. And the snakes that all the way to have mine. We'll see. Doing all my very best. Pinkie Pie joins in on the racial profiling and is all like, but did you see her weave sliding off her hairline? Evilly. Did you see her EBT sliding out of her pocket? Evilly. Then Zecora, minding her literal black business, pulls her hood back to reveal a 2012 mohawk, and Rarity is all like, oh, look at her black stripes, so garish. And Twilight is like, those aren't a fashion choice, she was literally born with those. And Rarity is all like, oh, I'm not the superior race, oh. And Twilight, literally the only one here with sense, is like, well, she's probably not from here, where does she live? And so Applejack is like, well, she's from the ghetto, the projects. They sag their pants, their baby hairs are legal drinking age, and worst of all, they listen to Playboy Cardi. Then finally Twilight is all like, well, maybe if y'all have the balls enough to just go approach her, maybe she wouldn't actually shoot you in the face. So then Apple Bloom was like, bet. So Zecora starts making her way back to the projects, once again minding her black business, and Apple Bloom is hot on her tails, and she's like, okay, it actually is a little bit ghetto up in here, they be crippin' up in here. So then that's when Applejack decides to open her big mouth and alert the entire hood of their presence. Applejack decides to open her big mouth and alert the entire hood of her presence, and is like, Apple, here, you get back here, yeah. And so then Zecora starts rapping, and she disappears into the fog like freaking Michael Jackson or something. And Applejack is like, yeah, keep your monkey paws away from my sister, and you don't come over here with that ghetto talk, yeah, you nick. Twilight is like, oh my god, y'all, there's no such thing as DEI. So then Applejack is all like, well, we'll see when you start hearing gunshots outside your window at night. Twilight is all like, okay, whatever, hoes, until the next day she wakes up and her horn has erectile dysfunction. So as Twilight and Spike are tearing apart the library trying to find a cure for her flaccid head schlong, Spike is like, hey yo, maybe let's look at this book. And Twilight is like, oh my god, Spike, you were literally an idiot. What on earth made you think that the supernatural would work with magic talking colorful ponies with magic and spellcasting powers? Because now at this point, Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash are autistic, Applejack is Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Fluttershy is Michael Clark Duncan.
I don't want to talk about it.
The picture with your ass out and your back bent in with your pussy barely peeking through from a low angle with your face in it, winking with your tongue out and your feet.
So then Spike's ableist starts showing, and he's like, haha, you all need to ride the short yellow bus now, haha. And then now they're all like, well, we need to go up to Zecora's crib and torch it, Tulsa style. So as they're all getting their pitchforks and stuff ready, they realize, oh no, Applejack is gone. Did somebody step on her? Did somebody sit on her face? But Apple Bloom runs headfirst into the hood, leaves Applejack in the heart of Compton. They finally get to Zecora's place, and they're like, it's one story, it has a screen door, oh my god, it's ratchet up in here. As they go up and spy on Zecora through her window, because that's not creepy at all, literally making herself some tea or something, they're like, oh my god, hoodoo voodoo, she's eating the dogs, she's eating the cats. So then now they're all like, well, do you see now, Twilight? Do you see her blackness? And Twilight is like, well, the EBT, she's a single mom.
Dermatologist tested.
Everything is pointing to her being black. They're still spying on Zecora through her window because, once again, that's not creepy at all or a crime. They overhear her going like, ooga booga ooga booga Apple Bloom. And they're like, oh my god, she's eating the dog, she's eating the cat, she's eating Apple Bloom. Then they all break into Zecora's treehouse because, once again, that's not a crime at all, and she's the evil one here, of course. And they start breaking her stuff, breaking her African artifacts, all that good stuff. And Zecora's all like, oh, ooga booga ooga booga. As they're literally destroying and wrecking her place of residence, they knock over her EBT meal, and she's like, oh, you know not what you do. So then Twilight is all like, I didn't want to believe that you were one of the ratchet ones, but the evidence is overwhelming because you live in the projects and you have African artifacts and a screen door. Then Rarity's all like, you made me look ridiculous. And then Fluttershy's all like, you made me sound ridiculous.
Your torso at 3/4 rotation with your side boob and your nipples just out of sight with a choker on.
Pinkie Pie's like, Twilight's like, I can't get it up. So then finally Zecora, rightfully so, is like, how dare you? You destroy my home, you destroy my work, and then you accuse me of being a jerk. Bars, by the way. Finally, Apple Bloom comes back and they're all like, oh my god, you're alive. And she's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I be? And they're all like, well, she would have made you rob a bank or pack cocaine or something, or whatever her kind does in the hood. So Zecora tries to explain herself and Applejack is like, okay, can somebody not talk in Ebonics? So they finally learn that it is in fact not Zecora who cursed them. It was the crypt flowers from earlier that she was trying to warn them about, aka the poison joke that essentially ruins lives for funsies. And they're all like, well, what about the creepy African artifacts and the screen door and the EBT card and the weaves and the guns and the cocaine? So Zecora's all like, ooga pooka ooga. This means hello. This means F around and this means find out. And Apple Bloom is all like, well, no, she wasn't trying to eat the dogs and eat the cats. She's just making a cauldron soup thing because we all just need to take a good old bubble bath and wash away the monkeyitis. And Twilight is all like, well, I exerted all of my mediocre white woman powers and I looked through all of my books and I didn't find any of this, just for it to turn out that the answers was in the supernatural book. Twilight is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I should have looked in the man in the mirror, blah blah blah. And Zecora starts rapping again and she's all like, oh well, maybe next time you'll take a second look and not judge the cover of the book or something like that. Well, I know we broke into your home, broke all of your stuff, your $1 million African artifacts, knocked over your EBT stew, but could you be so kind as to make us another one? So they return back to Ponyville to get the last herb that they need for the magic stew to turn them all back to normal. And so all of Ponyville is like, they all run into their little houses and their little stores and they're all like, oh no, EBT allowed here, oh. Then Twilight's all like, hey yo, tighten up. And the episode ends and happily ever after they are all able to get their bubble bath, turn back to normal. All of their ailments and their autism is gone. And Twilight's like, dear Princess Celestia, today I learned that racial profiling is bad and it's not nice. Yada, yada, yada. And yeah.